Hey everyone, this is Milton with Man on a Mission. So glad you've taken the time to join me today. Hey, I wanted to talk today about something that I think is very important for those of us who are still trying to figure out what we need to do. And that is reinventing yourself. Taking the time to reinvent yourself. I was out the other day talking to a friend, and he was sharing with me some of the struggles he's having right now on finding a job. Now, he has his MBA, he's worked in corporate America for years, but he was laid off here lately. So he's having a tremendously hard time on trying to find a job. So he's concentrating on what he's done for the last 30 years, and he's trying to get back into that sector. But what I told him was, it may be time to reinvent yourself. It may be time to do something new. And I think for a lot of us who've been doing something for so long, it seems like it's impossible to do something new, to reinvent ourselves, to go into something that we know we need to go into. So today I just want to briefly talk about reinventing yourself. Alright, so let's get started. So one of the things that's very important to be successful is knowing when there's a time to make a change. Knowing when you need to make a change. So the first thing you need to do in reinventing yourself is understanding that a change needs to be made. What you've been doing for years and what you're currently doing is just not working. It's just not working for you, and you need to understand that a change is needed in order for you to go forward to be successful. A great example I use is an athlete, Tiger Woods, for example. Years and years, Tiger was one of the greatest golfers in the world. You know, everybody looked forward to seeing him come play. He had an awesome swing, he had an awesome putt game, but something happened that caused Tiger to lose that stamina, that drive, that strength. So what he had to do was step back for a minute and reinvent himself. He had to reinvent what he loved doing. So Tiger took some time off, rebuilt his body, refocused his mind, and came back totally new. Came back and began once what he did before. He dominated the game of golf because he took the time to reinvent himself. And you can also look at it from the standpoint of an NFL quarterback. Quarterbacks are taught how to throw a ball at a young age. And over time, it may change, their form may change, their release may change. But at some point, when things are not working well, a quarterback has to do what? He has to reinvent the way he throws the ball in order to achieve success. And that's the same thing with us in business. We have to reinvent ourselves so that we can become more productive and more effective. So it begins with understanding that a change needs to be made so that you can go out and be successful. So how does that change begin? Well, I'll tell you, that change begins within yourself. You have to decide honestly and openly that something is not working and I need to make this change. So once you decide that, you can then begin to focus and prioritize the things that you need to do in order to achieve that success. Like my friend I was talking to the other day, he had been in the industry of manufacturing for all his life, and you know that's what he's done his whole life, and that's really all he really understood as far as work was concerned. But my question to him was, what is it that drives you? What is it that you put your effort into? What is the one or two things that you know you're not going to rest until you get them done? Those are the areas that you need to focus on in order to reinvent yourself. You've done so long, you've worked well for others. You made them successful. You've helped their companies to thrive. You put all that energy, all that time, all your money, all your resources into helping someone else to be successful. So why would you not do the same for yourself? Why would you not take that same energy, that same effort, that same passion, that same persistence, and do the same for yourself? At some point, you need to understand, I need to reinvent myself. That's the first thing you need to do. Now the second thing you need to do is change your mindset. Understand that your focus, your mind, your thoughts, your actions, they all need to change. You can no longer think like you used to think. You have to change your mindset in order to take you into that new direction that you need to go into. It has to be a change from your mind. It can't just be a thought. It has to be inside, here and here, in order for that change to come. Yeah, you're used to working in a certain environment. Yes, you're used to doing a certain thing, but now you're going to focus on what it is that you need to do for you to be successful. And that begins with a change in your mindset. You've worked in an industry for so long, but no longer is that working for you. So you need to understand that you need to reinvent yourself to do something different, to do something that's going to make you better, to do something that's going to help somebody else. It's no longer about what I can do for them. It's not a selfish act either. It's just an act of understanding I need to reinvent myself. Something needs to change within me so that I can go forward and become successful. That's something that you need to look at when it comes to reinventing yourself. And the next thing that I will say is, don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to fail. Because if you never try, then you never know if you're going to ever succeed. So if you go in with the thought and the idea that, well, I've been working for someone else and it's been working fine, but now I have to do it for myself, I'm afraid. That's no good. You have to approach it like you approach everything else. I'm going to make this work. I'm going to put in the time. I'm going to put in the effort. I'm going to do whatever it takes for me to be successful. Do not be afraid to fail. What if athletes decided that, hey, I got hit one time on a play, so I'm not going to go back out there and take that chance again? How will you ever be successful if you never overcome your fears? Do not let fear stop you from being successful. Yes, this is uncharted waters. Yes, this is totally new. Yes, you're going to be worried about this, that, and that. That's okay. Those are things that you will learn to figure out as time goes on. You'll learn to put those pieces together. You'll learn to find the resources, the things that you need to make yourself successful. But you can't be afraid to fail. If you're afraid to fail, that means you're afraid to try to do what it is that you need to do to become successful. And we don't want that. We want you to walk into those prosperity areas that are within you. Those things that you know you have inside, you just have not taken the time to unleash them, to let them thrive, to let them be seen, to let them be heard. They're all within you. So now you just have to take that time to not let that fear stop you. And another thing that I would share with you when it comes to being able to reinvent yourself, don't be worried about what other people are saying. Don't be concerned about the naysayers, those who are not on board, because they don't understand what you're doing, because they're not reinventing themselves. You are reinventing yourself. So it's about you staying focused on reinventing yourself. In any business, in any game, anything in life, you're going to have people who are going to be doubters, people who are going to be naysayers, people who are going to say, why are you doing this? This is not you. But they can't tell you who you are. Only you know who you are. You can be the best you that you ever want to be if you choose to do so. You can't be distracted by what other people are saying. You can't be led by what other people are saying. You have to find it out what it is that you need to do to reinvent yourself. No one can do that for you. Only you have the ability, the skill, the desire, and the means to achieve success. That's why it's very important to reinvent yourself. As I was talking to my friend, he was really concerned about, hey, I've been doing this for so long, I'm afraid. He was really afraid to go into these uncharted waters. He was so dependent on someone else taking care of him for so long that he couldn't see the value that was within himself that would help him to be successful. So I shared with him these ideas and these concepts, that all it takes is you understanding that it is time for you to reinvent yourself. It's time for you to invest in yourself. Like I stated in a few videos ago, the smartest investment that you could ever make is investing in yourself. So it's very important that we do that. So I just wanted to take a minute briefly to share these little tips, but I want to come back in a later video and dive a little bit deeper into these concepts, because I think it's very important that we understand that reinventing ourselves is a key for us being successful in life and in business. So hope these are helpful to you. I hope you take the time to just think about them. I'm going to come back a little later in the week to dive a little bit deeper into them, so that we can kind of iron them out and get a little bit more in depth. So hey, thanks again for taking the time to join me. Please subscribe, comment, and like, and give me some feedback, and we can go from there on creating the videos and information that we need to share to help everyone to find the means to make them successful. Thanks for joining Milton here at Man on a Mission. Have a great day.